All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm going to be doing a silk press on a natural client. She's about I say about 3C, treading lightly into the 4A category. But her hair is very soft. So, as you can see, first I sprayed some Design Essentials leave-in conditioner on there, just a little bit because that product can be kind of heavy. So I just use a little bit because it is like a leave-in conditioner and a built-in heat protectant. And as you can see, I'm just parting through 4 sections so that's water mixed with a lot of body. I applied a silk polish on there. I used the bio silk. And then I detangle her from tips to roots. And I do this all over before I get ready to blow dry her out. You can see her head is yanking just a little bit, but as you can also see, no hair is coming out in the comb. And I'm just gradually working my way up. And then I pin her back. And yeah. Do that little bio silk. Rub it all the way through. I use about a nickel size amount of bio silk. It's another one of those products. So with a lot of these products, they are heat activated. So what that means is that if you put it on the hair and you may feel like, oh, this isn't really saturating the hair, you're not really going to see the effect of the product until you actually start using your heat tools. So, because if you put, especially the bio silk, it's so concentrated. If you put too much bio silk on there, your hair is definitely going to be silky, also going to be a little stringy. So you have to watch out for that. As you can see, still detangling here. I think at this point she was falling asleep because that's just how gentle I am with my clients. Pin her up. So now I'm starting with the blow dry. I'm using a Conair blow dryer. This dryer is about $60. You can get it from Target, but it's really good. It's the Infinity Pro. It's an amazing dryer, to be honest with you. Like, yeah. So anyway, so I'm taking a medium to large size round brush, and what I'm doing is I'm starting at the tips. Okay, well here's the dimming brush. I'll explain in that later section. I take the dimming brush to get the roots completely straight. Because when you're doing a blowout, you want to make sure the hair is as straight as possible so you don't have to apply too much heat with the flat iron. Alright, so now I have my round brush. I get the hair gripped up in those grooves. That's the key. You want to get it all. Like, you can even spread the hair out to evenly distribute it. To evenly distribute it within the grooves. So once you get in the grooves, as you can see, I'm kind of like working my way down just a little bit. And then I just start the rolling process. Just to roll and just smooth the hair all the way out. Just get all the way up in there. And as you can see, and I don't know if you guys can notice, but her hair is already starting to just have like this sheen to it, which which I achieved this sheen with, the things that I did previously with the heat protectant, with the silk on the strands, and then I detangled and saturated all the way through. So now once again, she's going through. So once again, I'm taking that dimming brush and I'm getting those roots to make sure I can press those roots all the way out, because some people have different scalps, which stylists don't really acknowledge much, but some people's scalps move with their hair, very flexible scalp. And then some people's scalp just kind of stay in place. This client, I work with her a lot. Her scalp tends to move a bit, which means that when I'm ready to flat iron, when I stretch her hair out, I'm most likely going to end up catching some skin. So it's very important to get her roots really straight so that when I get as close as possible, the heat from the flat iron is still going to smooth that out. And also, you don't want to flat iron the hair straight. You want to blow dry the hair straight and use the flat iron to help polish it out. So I see a lot of people using Denman brush for detangling purposes. I don't know what that is about. I don't know what memo went out into the natural hair care community saying that was okay, but definitely doesn't work for me and my clients. I like to only use a Denman brush once the hair is detangled and fully manageable. Um, I would also say don't use a Denman brush if you don't know what you're doing. All right, now this here, her hair is very clean. I do a very thorough and a great wash. You can ask her. But what that is sometimes when you have natural hair and you have dandruff or maybe you have products building up in your hair, you get the good clean wash from scalps to root, but because the hair is coily and kinky, it just catches on to things. It doesn't rinse and slide out of like a hair that was relaxed or hair that's naturally straight. It's not going to slide out. So it's just a little bit of residue, and once you blow dry it and stuff, you can just dust it off. It has nothing to do with the cleanliness of the client's hair. Pretty sure my client's knocked out over there. Which just goes to show how gentle I am with her hair. See, I'm only using that Denman brush just to pick up more hair and be able to straighten it out with that heat. I like to say, you don't want to rush through a blow dry, but you definitely don't want to take your time with it either. Yeah. I mean, I'm a stylist in New York City, so with that being said, it's just not a place that has a lot of time, if that makes any sense. So when I was working in a very busy salon, it was just very important to not take up too much time. Like, I like to spend a lot of time with my clients. I work with them in a very intimate way where their services are catered to them specifically, where they don't feel like I'm just there to get their money. So with that being said, I don't rush through, but I don't take any minute for granted. I'm on a booking website which allows for people to book me at any time. So say I'm working on this client and someone books me, I have to be prepared to take that guest. So yeah, you don't want to waste too much time. I think that the blow dry on this entire head of natural hair, well, I'll say the wash and the blow dry on this entire head of natural hair, that alone took about an hour. And this is including the wash, the deep condition, the detangle, and the blow dry. Her hair is longer, so that can take more time. But say if I'm dealing with a 4B, 4C client with shorter hair, it'll take the same amount of time because in that instance, the 4B, 4C hair, you may think that it dries fast, but it definitely really doesn't. The scalp stays wet for a pretty long time, and then you have to get through, those cuticles, and you have to get it straight. You can't play around. I know a lot of stylists get really lazy when they're dealing with like type 4 hair, and they just do like kind of like a rough dry, and then they're just like, all right, I'm just gonna flat iron it straight, and that's where you incur the heat damage. The bigger the numbers you go up in hair types, the more prone you are to getting that unnecessary damage. So I have a smaller round brush here because I'm working towards the front part of her hair. My client has a little bit of tension alopecia, so we like to be really delicate with that. Also, the smaller brush is going to help me just really get into those roots, you know, quite easily. So I'm just rambling on. Yes. If you haven't already, please subscribe and like my channel. I know there's a lot of hair channels out here, but yep. Add one more to your list. You can also follow me on my IG. I have 2 IGs. So my hair page is going to be Control the Cool. It's spelt normal, no funky spelling. And my personal page, if you want to keep up with my daily shenanigans, is going to be Black Autumn, BLKAUTUM. But go ahead and follow Control the Cool for all the hair updates. Get in there. See, she's so knocked out that now her head is definitely doing a swivel because I have to keep her up. So you see that brush, see how it's just flicking? Yeah, you want to flick it and roll, flick and roll, flick and roll. If I was doing like a Dominican blowout, I would just mostly be rolling. But I'm doing a silk press, so it's different. Get in there. Oh, yeah.
Early hours of this morning, the Israeli army launched an attack into Egyptian territory, the Sinai Peninsula, and is rapidly approaching the Suez Canal. The Egyptian army has mobilized a retaliatory force.
So for all my naturals out here, this round brush method, you can use this with your hair. Like, I don't want you to ever think that you can't. I've only started round brushing to blow dry my hair about 2 to 3 years ago, because I used to listen. Oh my God, because I'm, you know, over the years I've become more tender headed, and so I'm like, I'm using whatever I can to get my hair straight. That's not gonna hurt me. But if I would have known about the round brushing method years and years ago when I was first becoming a natural, yeah, I would have had way more blowouts. I'll say that. So this round brush is really good for you natural girls, all types, but I want to say especially for type hair, because it's brushing your hair and it's straightening those follicles from root to tip, where you don't have to sit there and flat iron your hair for 3 hours. You don't have to pass through the flat iron for so many times. Like, you will literally be in the money with this round brush. Trust me on that. So this is good for you ladies too. And like I said, only use that dimming brush for detangling. Now I'm just running through making sure her scalp is dry, but I have no problems with her scalp. Sometimes I will sit you under the dryer after the blow dry just to make sure that scalp is dry. And I'm just stimulating her follicles, waking them up, letting them know that we do love you, even though we've been pulling and tugging. Now here I put about, I would say about a quarter size amount at this point. And you just want to eyeball that. And I'm just saturating it all the way through the hair, through every single follicle. Ooh, look at that. So tune into part 2 where we press her out. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. Later.